And welcome back to another episode of Blueshirts Buzz. We talk everything New York Rangers. I just messed up the intro for the first time ever, but you know what we're doing here. We are talking about the New York Rangers. I'm so smooth with the intro. I can't believe I messed up the intro.
Yeah, that
Just
actually caught me
stumbled
off
on my
guard.
words. Bro, I caught me off guard. But you all know we're here to talk about the New York Rangers, your premier New York Rangers podcast. Check us out on Twitter at BlueBuzz26. Wow, I can't believe that's the first time I messed up the Blue Shirts Buzz intro. I surprised myself.
Yeah,
But
but you've been working hard. So.
I was just gonna say it's been a few days, a couple 12-hour shifts. We're working on minimal brain power here, but happy to get another one out here for you guys. I mean, we have some good stuff to talk about, some not so good stuff to talk about. It is currently a crazy night. We did choose this night to record specifically so that we could get a little bit more Rangers action in this recording. This is Monday, October 14th, and for those of you in New York sports fans, I'm sure that you know what's going on. The Jets are playing tonight. The Yankees are in the ALDS. The Rangers are playing tonight, and the Mets. Actually, did they win? Last time I checked, they were up 6-0 earlier today. So, I feel like
Oh,
they
did
won.
they play today? Oh,
Yeah, they played today.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
actually,
yesterday where they got
bro,
blown
they
out.
must have won, right? Like I was looking and it was 6-0. Now I have to confirm. I know this
Really?
isn't
Oh,
Rangers related, but
hold on.
right, win today.
I could have swore. Yeah, 7-3.
Yeah, 7-3. Let's
Wow.
go. Let's
Wow. Okay.
go. It's all
So they
about the
got.
Mets, baby.
Let's get over it, baby. It's all about the Mets. Yeah, because they got blown out the day before.
Yeah, that one
So I was
game.
like,
Bro, I was
yikes.
watching some of that. I was like, I mean, I'm not a Mets fan. I care more
No,
about the
yeah.
Yankees, but
But a Yankees Mets World
nonetheless,
Series would feed families.
I was just gonna say the Subway Series would be great.
Yeah.
But we did choose tonight because we wanted to have a little bit more Rangers action. With that being said, unfortunately, we did lose the other night, and that was that Saturday night game against the Utah Hockey Club, Arizona Coyotes. I don't know. My mom
R.I.P.
was like, "Why are we calling them Utah?" My girlfriend did done. Why are we calling them Utah? I'm like,
Because they're from Utah now.
I know they did a whole voting campaign. We could have a name right now. I don't know. It would
I'm
take
telling you,
too long.
Yetis
Dude,
would be
the
fire.
Yeti's sick, right?
I don't know why
They
they
got
haven't done it.
they got to Yeti.
I
But
hope so.
nonetheless, we did end up losing that game in 6-5 in overtime. And that's really what we're here to talk about tonight. We'll talk a little bit about the game that's going on tonight as well. We are currently playing the Red Wings, but as a whole, I'll just give like a real quick on that game. From what I was able to watch, because actually I did have work, so I kind of had to catch like the second half of the game. I wasn't.
You gotta have it. You gotta have it on while you're helping patients.
Though I actually did have it on the radio on my way home though, because like I got like the
okay.
ESPN radio or whatever, so I was like listening in.
I thought you were gonna say at work, like someone's hurt.
No, you know what's
they're
funny
just
though? Like if
listening
I'm
to it.
walking by a patient's room, especially on Sunday, because like when I'm on the weekends, like I work like football Sunday, and if I'm going in a room and I know they're a sports fan or a football fan or whatever, like if they don't have the TV on or if they have the TV on, I'll be like, oh, like the game's on, like and like just subtly be like, oh, you could put the game on if you're bored. Like who isn't bored sitting in a hospital room? And
Yeah.
like if they're a fan of sports, they're gonna say sure. So like I get my patients to like turn on the game so that while I'm in there, like I'm doing your vitals, I'm doing your assessment, I'm giving your meds. Well, I'm gonna catch a couple plays. Like,
yeah, and it
no,
gives them
we laugh
joy.
about that at
So,
work
yeah.
actually, because like a bunch of us will, because we can't watch. Obviously, like I'm distracted
Yeah.
doing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
But from what I did see, the point of how I got to this, from what I did see, I'm not upset. I'm not panicked, but I'm also not happy. It to me. It spoke very much to like how earlier in the season we are. That's really what I was seeing. A lot of the defensive lapses and mistakes that we were making on defense says to me that we're early season. We need to establish our defensive structure again, and we need to be consistent with that game plan. And another big thing that you had brought up just before recording, we did kind of see the effect of Lingard being out. In that first game, I don't think we saw as much of that. But in this game, you could certainly, make the case that probably contributed heavily to the way that our defense looked. And so I'm interested in how you feel about not only the defense, but the offense as well, just the team in general. I think, 5v5, I was particularly impressed towards the end of the game. Honestly, I think we should have won this game. I think, if you take away a couple key mistakes that we made, we very easily could have won this game. But I'm curious what your thoughts are on particularly at the end of the game as well, when we were really trying to make a push there.
Yeah, end of the game was nice. That one goal that Miller scored was just luck. So that was really cool to see. I mean, that's a 1 in a million thing. End of the game was a good push, but it was just, man, I'm mostly just angry about how the overtime ended, which we'll get into with a particular long-haired first line center. And stuff that we about in the beginning of this season that we feared would come true. Again, we're on game 3 of the season, so we need to take a little bit of a chill pill. But it was good to see a comeback victory. I mean, as Laviolette said, we were chasing the game pretty much the whole time,
Yeah.
and it was cool that that's one thing I like about him as a coach is he takes accountability and he makes the players take accountability. Not like
Yeah.
Gerard Gallant or anything like that, my God. But it's it's important to see that they still had a fight in them, even though the defense had a lot of growing pains.
Yeah.
Schneider did play well, but like him with Truba, both right-handed defensemen, get some of the positioning off a little bit. Hopefully Lindgren's back sooner than later. I do have a whole thing about well, so before I get into that fun thing, I'll say so, it went to overtime. We got a point, which is cool to
Mhm.
see. Like, even though we chased most of the game, we had a lot of mental mistakes. We drew a lot of penalties. I mean, we not drew, sorry, we caused a lot of penalties. Wes was
Some of the I was just
some of
gonna
them were a
say that
little.
that was a Wes McCauley at MSG game if I've ever
Yes,
seen one
yes,
because some
especially
of those calls, dude.
Will Clease's
Also,
goaltender interference for sure.
I was just gonna say, I'm sorry, I don't remember the goalie being allowed to just come all the way out of the blue paint
I
and
think
initiate the
yes,
contact and then get a
yes,
call on them. I'm sorry, but he skated into Cooley.
he
Cooley
did.
is skating 20 plus miles an hour, trying to stop on a dime while getting pushed towards the goalie by a
Yes,
defender who is on the same team as the goalie, right? So your momentum is continued by a player who is on the same team as the goalie, who is also coming out to initiate the contact with our player, but the call is on us for interfering with the goalie, who is considered a skater when he's out of his blue paint.
yes.
I don't understand how that works. That was disgusting. And if I had to watch Adam Fox get taken down from behind one more time with no call,
Oh
I
my
was gonna
god.
like drive to MSG and like yell at Wes McCauley because my lord, we blow air at someone the wrong way and they like tickle their face and it's like roughing.
Yeah,
Fox was literally getting destroyed all night and not a
yes.
single like I could go off on Wes, but
I
sorry to
absolutely hate
interrupt.
Wes.
I was
No,
that
no,
that got me. That
very
got me
warranted.
heated. Like
Yeah, no, very warranted. I mean, the goalie, I think he came out to almost the face-off circle in his own zone. That's how far out he came.
yeah.
And Wes was like, goaltender interference. So, but yeah, it went to overtime. Igor made a big save, and then we lost possession. Comes back into our crease, and Clayton Keller just put it away. Now, it was a great shot, great positioning by Clayton Keller. He should have never, ever, under any circumstance, been allowed to take that shot. Mika, as a lot of other people put it on Twitter, which I really can't disagree with them, it almost like he just didn't wanna play hockey anymore. He turned around, saw Keller, and just stopped. He was like, "Oh, in case there's a pass coming,"
Mhm.
but Laugh was
Well,
covering
I
the guy
think
behind
the
him.
consideration is that in a normal the thing is, in a normal situation, he knows he has that defensive coverage on his back. Miller should come across and cover that's an issue as well, is that
Mhm. Yeah,
Miller's at
yeah,
fault here. Miller
communication.
should be coming across to cover that. Mika's going up ice, following his guy. Miller needs to come across and cover the guy who went behind the crease. The thing is, there's 3 guys on there on overtime, right? So the approach has to be a little bit different. And if Mika had simply just tried to do literally anything to stop the progress, like even if he just like turned around and threw a stick check or something, at least you can kind of throw it off and maybe that gives Miller a time to realize to like take a step over there or something. But both of
Yeah.
them, I mean, obviously Mika, like we're gonna highlight
Yeah, because he
because it's
kinda
been
just
a couple
watched it.
games here. Exactly.
Yeah.
And he hasn't done much of anything else. But
No.
when you get down to it, it was just another defensive lapse that we made because
Yeah.
these guys clearly aren't in that kind of regular season mindset yet. It's not there. It's too early, and Utah was, and they were ready, and they showed up. So
Yeah, no, I agree, and it showed. I think just the highlight of that with Miko was like he initially went to kind of poke check him, and then he pulled back because he thought like, oh, maybe I'll cover the pass. And at that moment, you can see Clayton Keller say, "Oh, okay, he's not going to challenge me," and then
yeah.
he just waltzes up to Igor and scores. Crazy good shot. But
Mhm.
yeah, and the only reason, another reason it highlights big time with Mika is he was a -4 in the night. As of even recording now, Mika has oh, actually the Rangers did just score, and it was Chris
Oh,
Kreider.
really?
So Mika has not scored, yeah. But actually, let me see as I
Did he
make
get a
my point.
point?
No,
I know because I know what point you're gonna make. He didn't get. Are you kidding
I
me,
mean
dude?
it's still updating because it just happened. Oh, it was a tip
Does it
in, so
say?
maybe.
Okay. All right.
So
All
let's
right.
say
There's
let's
hope,
say he
right?
didn't get a
There's hope.
point, right? Just
Mhm.
between game 1 and 2, there was 11 goals scored for the Rangers, and Mika was not a part of any of them. Goals, assists, um, and his defensive aspects were not fantastic with his -4 of the night, and then the overtime winning goal was kind of crazy just watching him watch Clayton Keller waltz in. So again, we're in game 3 of the season, which by the way is beautiful that hockey's back. Such a great feeling. But
Oh, yeah.
um, we'll cut him a little more slack. It's just that was one of our highlighted fears coming in was
Yeah.
Mika being worse. And
Absolutely.
he's not showing me anything different as of right now. Oh, he did get a point. Okay, so
Oh, he did?
he did. So he has 1
Okay.
point in 3
All right.
games.
He's got a point, right? That's something.
Um,
And
so
yeah,
really cool.
I definitely, I mean, I'm always a little bit more on the positive side. I think
Yeah,
I'll get us a
absolutely.
nice word from our very wonderful and positive sponsors in here before I go on my little bit of a Mika spiel, because for as positive as I try to be, I am a little bit upset with Mika. But first, we'll get into some more exciting and some more positive stuff for you guys. A nice, awesome word from our sponsors, DraftKings and Game Time, of course.
Yes,
If you wouldn't
sir.
mind getting us rolling here.
Yeah, I'll start us rolling here with special thanks to DraftKings Sportsbook, today's sponsor. The quest for the Stanley Cup starts now. The puck's dropping on the 24-25 season. Get in on all the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. It's very easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bets. And if you're new to DraftKings, new customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. So go ahead, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Take out your phone to get your app out, Android, whatever you're using, computer, and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
And a word from another one of our lovely sponsors, Game Time. You all know there's nothing quite like the experience of a live NHL game, the chill of the ice, the sound of a big hit or a slap shot. Every year I try to go to as many games as possible, and this year I can't wait to get to more games. And with Game Time, it'll be easier than ever. Game Time has tickets for all sorts of live sporting events and music events, not just the NHL. And with Game Time picks, you can get the best deal in the shortest time. Right now, there's tons of deals on Game Time for you or your family and friends to enjoy. You can download the app as well and buy tickets right from your phone. Game Time has great features like panoramic seat views to make sure you love the seats, the Game Time lowest price guarantee, or their ticket coverage that provides the most flexible customer service policy in the industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code THPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code THPN for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time, baby. And thank you to our lovely sponsors. We always appreciate everything that we can give you guys because of them, right? So, like I had said before, our little spiel about our wonderful sponsors. I'm upset with Mika. I am, and I don't really get upset with Mika, and I give him a lot of grace, but everybody else is seeming to be doing well in this system. Everybody, I mean, obviously, like you could pick apart games, you could make, you could say things about this guy, say things about that guy, right? But as a whole, there's been a lot of really promising developments in the past 2 games. Specifically, I'm looking at some of our younger guys. That third line has been incredibly impressive. For as much as I've said about Kako, he has started off on the right foot. He's made a lot of plays. Cooley has been a big presence as well. Phil has been skating well. He's been making some moves. It's been a lot of fun to watch those guys play. And we've been seeing a lot of grit and toughness from our bottom guys as well. First goal of the season came from our fourth line. Who expected Sam Carrick to score our first goal? It just nobody was thinking that was the case, right? And then watching Laugh fly around out here, there's so many positive things that we're seeing that, yeah, we lost a game. Yeah, we don't look perfect, but there's things to like look forward to in the season, right? Mika's not one of them right now. And I'm baffled. I don't understand it. And I don't want to panic because it's only been a couple games, but it's like, okay, he's said this in the past where like when his offensive game isn't there, it's because he's focusing too much on that defensive part of the game, which is like, okay, if you're going to shut down the top center, like I get that. He did some pretty impressive stuff against some of the top guys in Pittsburgh our first game. saw some impressive stuff against some of the guys on Utah as well. But then you see him make these defensive mistakes and these lapses in our own zone, and it's like, well, if you're not scoring and you're not, pressing the issue at 5v5 in the offensive zone, and then you're supposed to be great defensively, but then you're making those errors as well, then what are you doing well right now? And it's not a lot of great stuff to look at. And so it's really where I'm at with him, is just I'm upset. I expect more from him. He is a borderline elite center in this league, but at this point, the way that he had kind of played in the playoffs and towards the end of last season and now the beginning of this season, he's not as close to some of those top guys. I mean, we were talking, what was it? It must have been 2 off seasons ago when we had started this, or was that actually, it was last off season, I believe. Talking about him being a top 6, top 7 center in this league. And when you look at some of these other guys and the way they're performing, and then you compare that to where Mika's been recently, it's like, really? Or do we still think he's up there? And I don't know. I'm upset. I am, and it's kind of hard for me to really grapple with, because I don't like being upset with Mika, but I need to see more. They're plain and simple. I need to see more from him, and I'm sure that you're feeling the same way. And it's just frustrating. It's frustrating watching this, and like having to stop myself from being like, oh no, like, because I know where you're at. Like, you're already thinking this is going to be kind of like a regular thing, and I'm hoping it's not, but right now, what else? What do I have to show me that this isn't going to be what we're going to see from Mika for the next, however many months, right? Like,
Yeah. No, I know it.
yeah,
It sucks he had those two. Well, it was like an 89 point and 90 point season when other members of the Rangers weren't really clicking yet in
yeah,
potential. Like Laugh was still pretty bad, and the depth wasn't as good as it is now. And now that things are starting to trickle together, well, he's like going on vacation. It's really annoying.
yeah.
He has a point now, of course. It's 2-1 Rangers at the end of the second,
Maybe you
but
heard us talking, right?
yeah, maybe he did. I know as people listen to this, you'll know the final score. Hopefully it's a win, 2-0-1. But yeah, no, it's definitely frustrating. And the thing is, he kind of just has to be good because he has the 8.5 million a year and it's a full no move clause till the end of his contract. So he's paid and he's secured, which
Yep.
I think the latter a lot of players would fight for more than money at times.
Yeah.
And especially with a newborn and a family and just life in general. So he kind of just has to be the best, because that'll be a talking point, an unfortunate talking point. Like if he takes another step back and just continues to degrade, people are going to say, "Oh, well, why should he care? Full no move clause, can't trade
Mhm.
him, can't move him." Um, you know, I mean, you could buy him out, but that's crazy because it
Yeah.
doubles the length of the contract, so it's
Yeah.
almost not worth it
And
unless
even
he's
given
like
his play, it's
really
like,
bad.
who's going to buy him out? Like, it's not
Yeah,
even worth it, you know?
he would have to have like 10 points on the season 2 years in a row to get bought out, and that's just like a lot of money because that'd be 8.5 times 2, and I think he has what, like maybe 5 years left, so that'd be 10
Oh
years.
yeah, he's got a little bit still on that contract.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I hate that about the buyout that it doubles. I think that's stupid. I think it should just be you pay them
Yeah.
and that's it. The doubling is it's almost like a
I get
deterrent.
the penalty though. They have to penalize. They have to like penalize you in some way.
Yeah,
Otherwise, people would just take you, because you're already taking that cap hit. So
yeah,
then instead of taking, like, you're just taking the cap hit and saying like, all right, get out of here. I don't, we don't want you here. And so I get it. Like, you have to penalize them, but to go to, it's such a massive amount that
yes.
you're paying if you're buying somebody out. And when you look at people that are getting bought out, it's people that have heavy contracts, right? You're not buying someone out who has like a mill a year.
No, it's the
Just keep
heavy.
them at that point, right? Or throw them in
Yeah,
the minors or whatever, or just release them and pay the fee, right?
right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that we'll ever really get into a serious conversation about him being bought out. I highly doubt. Even given like what we're
Sorry.
even given like what we're seeing, when you just look at his track record and how skilled he is and everything that he's done, it's honestly, like, that'd be, like, just crazy. That would be probably one of the crazier developments that we would see in the NHL in years, but regardless, it's frustrating. It's certainly frustrating, and I'm just trying to stay hopeful for Mika,
Yeah.
but
No, me too. No, I agree, and it'll be a good talking point going through. It's just nice to finally have games to talk about.
yeah.
I think a final the final thing I would like to talk about, discuss, get your opinion on too.
For sure.
One quick thing is I don't know if the NHL app is glitched out or why it says this, but it is telling me that the most I've seen any team play is 3 games, but for some reason it's telling me that the Devils have played 5 games. They have 4
Hmm.
wins and 1 loss and have 8 points. That doesn't seem correct. How could they
I
have 8
thought
points? How could they have played 5 games already?
so let me just check. So I'm gonna go on like ESPN and just like check.
Because I think this might be, like, broken because how could they
No,
have
I mean
played.
like it depends like when you started the year and stuff. Yeah, the Devils played 5 games. They're 4-1. Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, so they have 8
They're
points.
not so let's see. They're the only team that's played 5 games. There's a few that have played 4
So
and
how have they
then
played 5 if nobody else has played 5?
'cause they played different opponents. So
Oh,
they
yeah,
played
just
yeah. So
so
they
why do
played
they get to play so many games and get a
I
jump
think it was just how
start?
their schedule worked out. Cause like, well, let's see. Oh, you know what? They played overseas, dude.
Oh,
Right? Didn't they wait. Didn't they play overseas?
that would make sense. Because how do they have 5 games played already when we only have played 3 as of
Yeah,
now?
that's why 2 of their games were against the Sabres overseas. That's why. So they're
That's dumb.
in reality, they've only played 3 games. Well, I mean, not in reality, but, like, when
Right,
you're
right.
looking at the schedule, like, their first game was against the Maple Leafs, and this was can I, like, get a date on this? The 10th, which was a lot of teams were playing, like, their second game. Yeah. So
Okay, well,
that's
let's
why.
hope we can get that squared away because I'll finish. I always like to finish the episodes with the schedule ahead. But last thing will be, I want to get your opinion on this.
Hmm?
Sorry, I had some in my tooth. I like I like Matt Rempe. I think he's a cool phenomenon for the Rangers as a 6th round pick. I think he brings cool energy. I think he's got a great attitude.
Hmm.
Just a cool guy.
Yeah.
Is he a good hockey player? Not really. Is he a good depth piece? Yeah. Yeah, right. He played 3 minutes against Utah. 3 full minutes. You know, I'm not the biggest Brodzinski fan either, but he's a solid veteran piece. He's a solid depth piece that could give you maybe 10 minutes. And we saw this a bunch of times last year, and I don't wanna see this again this year because it's gonna piss me
Mhm.
off, and I'm curious how you think about it. I don't wanna just throw Rempe in so he can play 3 to 4 bullshit minutes and do absolutely nothing, get penalized, actually hurt the team, and then we have to Laviolette's forced to cycle double shift guys when if we
Mhm.
have Brodzinski or another 4th liner as a depth piece that can just play solid minutes,
Yeah.
block shots, Rempe's cool and all, but I think we gotta stop the madness a little bit here. Like, there's no fucking point,
Mm.
excuse my French, I'm just getting angry, but, like, there's just no point for him to play 3 minutes a night, and then we have to double shift guys get
Mhm.
tired, games go on long, and then, there just could be other depth pieces, other 4th liners that could maybe score or get a point or be on the PK. So, I don't know, I just wanted your opinion on that. Like, I think he's
Yeah.
cool, and they did a whole video with him as for, like, the PR team, and I think that's awesome. He got, like when he came out to MSG, the crowd went wild, which is cool, but he doesn't produce anything on the ice worth worthwhile. I think he's just a fun story and character, which, again, I think is sick, but not if he's gonna take time away from people who could, like, contribute to wins. I don't know. That's my thought.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing that is annoying to me is play him. Play the kid. If he's going to be in the lineup, play him.
That's
Even
fair.
if it's even if it's like 8 minutes a night. That's something, right? Because I haven't been let down by his play is something that I've noticed. Like, because you don't expect him to go out there and put up a million points, right? But what we're seeing is like growth in his game. I think this year, in particular, he's really wants to kind of take that step forward and be more of a actual hockey player as opposed to just this big goon kind of presence, right? And so it's frustrating when he's there in the lineup, and we're excited to see him there in the lineup, and he only plays 3-4 minutes. Like that, to me, that just doesn't make sense. And
Yeah.
that's where, like, I agree with you. It's like, why is that what we're doing? And when you look at that usage of him, it's just perplexing. And like, I understand that Edstrom was out of the game for a good portion because of there was like some kind of new rule about like the game misconduct or something.
Oh, yeah,
I had
yeah,
missed that. Yeah, I actually heard about
yeah.
that like at the end of the game. I mean, I was wondering kind of like why I hadn't seen certain players, and some of the the forwards are getting a little jumbled up because when you have those guys out, you kind of have to mix and match sometimes. And I noticed that, and I was looking into it, and I'm like, so Rempe's sitting here on the bench, and just not contributing to that forward rotation that we have going. Like, I just don't get that. I think that if we're gonna trust him and we want to see him develop and become a depth piece for us, he needs to play. And so for me, it's more of a question mark that I have in regards to like our coaching staff and where they're thinking that that's a good idea. I just don't understand. I mean, I get when you get into a game, things change, and we, like you pointed out, we were kind of playing catch up all game. Oh, excuse me, I got something in my throat. And so I get that is kind of a consideration. And when we start playing catch up, we're not going to see Rempe play a lot to begin with anyway, right? Like, defensively, he's not this guy you're using as like a big defensive force. And offensively, you don't expect him to go out there and score. So when we're in a situation like that, yeah, I get that his playtime is going to go down. But for his playtime to go down to 0, that don't make sense to me.
Yeah.
At that point, why is he on our bench? And so I see it more as a, like, why are the coaches doing this, as opposed to like, why do we have Rempe there? Because I want
Yes.
Rempe there. The fans want Rempe there. He should be there. He's a good depth piece. He has a future in this league. He could be somebody who can be a depth piece and be a very good depth piece and provide a lot of different kind of aspects to his game. If he can really improve in that skating and the handling of the puck and get away from just being this big goon presence, then we could see a lot of really good things from him. So it's like, play him. Play him. I mean, it is tough though. Like, you do have to say the reps are gonna, like, they are always like this, like, just like staring at him,
Yes. Yeah.
And
I think
so
that's
that's
part of the problem.
unfortunate too. So I understand the hesitancy to like give him all sorts of minutes in tight games, but if he's on the bench, play him. That's
Yeah.
my only thing. Just play him.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna play him, then
Then
play
scratch him.
Brodzinski.
Yeah. It just
I
doesn't
just,
make
I don't
any sense.
understand. I don't understand that's where I'm like, I just don't understand. I
Yeah.
think my issue is less with Rempe and more with the usage of him, I guess, is
No,
how I look.
I totally agree. And Laviolette was asked about that. Wyling got 3 minutes, and he said the flow of the game, and
Yeah.
that's not incorrect. That's what you were saying. That we were
Yeah.
chasing the game. Not going to have Rempe when we're chasing the game. We were taking a lot of penalties. You're not going to put Rempe in when we're taking a lot of penalties. We'll probably just
Yeah.
add to that, either unintentionally or intentionally. But I agree. Like right now, Laviolette has showed that he doesn't trust Rempe and he doesn't see a lot in him. And it's reflected in how much playing he gets, and we'll see throughout the season how often
Mhm.
if he consistently gets 3 to 5 minutes, it's just scratch him. Don't play
Yeah,
him.
at
That's
that
just a
point, don't
waste
even
of
play
time.
him.
That's just a
Yeah.
waste of time, and we could have Brodzinski or another fourth liner who could change the momentum of the game. I can't wait for till Jimmy Vesey's back, but
Yeah.
yeah, but anyway, so I guess we will end this episode here. So right now the Rangers are winning 2-1. Third period left against the Red Wings. Hopefully that's a victory, and then have an episode at the end of the week to go through more. But as the schedule pertains, going on the road, playing Detroit Thursday, Toronto Maple Leafs Saturday, and then Tuesday away at Montreal, and then come back home the following Thursday, the 24th, to play Florida. So, yeah, if you wanna, I don't really have any closing thoughts. If you had anything, or
Yeah, I guess I can close this out on this one. I don't mind.
yeah,
Thank you for the schedule highlight, because I was actually just thinking about that. I was like, we got a big game next week, Florida coming into town.
yeah.
I'm watching that one. I think I'm off too. I think I can actually watch that game, and I'll be
Oh,
home
good,
and I won't be exhausted. So,
good, good.
but yeah, no, we're happy. We're glad to get another one out here for you guys. Thank you all for just the continued love, support, and just the good energy around this podcast. We love bringing you guys this content. Of course, now that the season is here, we have plenty to talk about. There will be no shortage of Rangers content to get out to you guys. It's also funny that tonight we have so much other sports going on as well. Like, I mean, I'm going to fall asleep very shortly. I'm exhausted, but probably gonna have the Rangers game on the TV and I guess the Jets game on my phone. I don't really know, and maybe I'll have to get my girlfriend's phone and watch the Yankees game. I don't know what I'm going to do. I want to watch all 3 of the games, and they're all at the same time. So I hope you all enjoyed the results of those games, knowing that listening to this, they're all over. Hopefully they all went well. Particularly the Rangers would be the best win, but the Yankees are that close to the World Series. So anyway, that's my spiel about all these sports going on. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for enjoying this one. Hope that you guys are enjoying all that is going on in the sports world right now, particularly the start of the NHL season. We are just very excited to be here. We'll keep it rolling, keep getting you all these episodes out. You'll have another one at the end of the week, another one at the beginning of the week after that. Thank you all for the support. Check us out on Twitter at BlueBuzz26, and I will stop rambling and let you guys go. Thank you all for another lovely episode. And it's the last you'll hear of me on this one. And last, you already heard your comments from John, actually. So I think I'll stop rambling. Sorry for my rambling tonight. I'm excited. We got so many games on tonight. Well, I hope you all enjoyed them. I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and we will catch you guys on the next one.